So, hello from Estonia. My name is Maarja Punak, and today I'm gonna present you a workshop what we are doing in Estonia together with social workers and teachers and child protection agencies. So I will tell you more about that in few minutes. So I hope, I think we will start in 1-2 minutes. Let's just wait everyone to gather here. But it's nice to see that we have so many listeners. So I think we can start. As I said, my name is Maarja Punak. I'm a police officer. I have been a police officer for 16 years. And most of the time I have been working with children. So I used to be a youth police officer. And after that, I was a web constable, which means that I was a police officer who was working in Facebook. So I was giving advice to people, and I was helping them to find solutions if they have any kind of problems in different issues, especially when we talk about cyberbullying or cyber crimes or stuff what can happen in social media. So we also made up one workshop where we can actually improve children's skills how to combat cyberbullying or different cyber crimes, because we have seen that when children, like somebody is contacting the children, they don't know what to answer or how to respond so that the bullying will stop immediately, or the bully will understand that whatever they said was wrong and is not appreciated. So the idea of our workshop is to improve those skills and show them through through practice what they can actually do and how they can combat those problems. So I also have a slideshow, and I will try to show that to you also. Let's see. So I will tell you about the workshop. Then I already introduced myself and a bit why I do it, because we want to reduce the cyber bullying. And I will tell you about the method. I will tell you about the stuff what we have found out and what doesn't work when you try to teach the social skills through chatting. So I will give you the good and the bad examples. And from you, I'm actually waiting maybe new ideas how to use this kind of chat system in other MIL topics. So we have approximately 30 minutes, and I will try to be as quick as possible. So when you want to do a workshop where you want to improve the participants' skills, you need 5 things. So you need social media, devices, the story, participants, and experts. But most of all, you actually need to design a common ground so that everyone understands that if they participate, it will be a safe environment, and they don't need to be afraid, because in many cases, like during this workshop, they have to do new stuff what they have never done. They have never like fighted any bullies. They have never done all the other activities what we do during the social media, like social skills Olympics. So it's okay to be wrong, but the Olympics is meant to be the place where they can learn. So I didn't actually, I think it was in the introduction that the social skills Olympics is something what we do in Tartu, a city in Estonia, once a year for 4th graders. So every school can send teams out. And it's not about competition, but it's all about learning new skills and improving the ones you already have. So my workshop actually is only one small part of it. The other parts are like feelings. So the children must identify and describe feelings. They must do teamwork. So usually they have to build something what they can never do alone. So every hand is needed or every foot is needed. They will have to solve cases with care. So there will be a task where the staff will evaluate them, how careful and or how caring they were when they took care of this situation. So after every task, they will get feedback and they will get like ideas how to improve their own skills. So it's not about competition, but about getting new ideas and things like that. One part of it is also forum theater. I hope that most of the youth workers probably know the method, so they will have to take action in youth work, like in the forum theater activities. Yes, so I will now talk about my own workshop. So I am the one who will be the cyberbully for the children or for the teams, but they just don't know that I am the one. They will find it out later. But yeah, so you need those things, and you have to explain to children that this is a safe place where they can be wrong, and this is a place where they can learn. So as a police officer, I don't make any commercials in any kind of platforms, but I will. But I would like to say that you have to avoid all those kind of chat rooms where the system is not working like normally. So children use a lot like messengers, WhatsApp, Snapchat, whatever places, and they all have like the common logic. But I think one year we used another kind of chat room where the buttons were not that logically placed. And so it was for children, it was more harder because they had to learn how to use the chat room also. So, but this is not the point. The point would be they need to learn the social skills, how to combat the cyberbully, not how to learn a new social media platform. So be careful when you pick it out. Then devices. If it's possible, then use your own devices. So you will give devices to children, because it would be too time consuming to get internet access to every device, and they can have different kind of problems, and it's just not working. So we actually have always some extra computers, because whatever you can have like Microsoft update, like just losing all the connection, and so it's good to have extra devices. The story. So when they enter the room, they will get a paper which has the storyline. So they will know that whom they are talking to. So usually it's like a classmate, a friend, or it can be also be someone who they don't know. So it will be written on the paper, who am I? And a little bit of background why we are chatting. So they will go to the computer, there will be an open chat, and usually there is already something what I already wrote to those to that team. So I will have like a chat with them, and they will have to find ways how to end the chat or like end the bullying. I wrote down into this slide also some versions what we have used. So we have tried to attack them with words like threatening, blackmailing, insulting. We have asked them to, hey, please join us. We want to go and bully someone in our class. Let's put some cat poop in his shoes, or let's put some, I don't know, dirty diapers in the school bag. So I will be the one behind in another room, and I will try to convince them that they need to participate. We also have had topics about naked pictures, like like writing sexual comments. And every year also we have teams of teachers. So I test them also in the similar topics. So you can have whatever topic you want, but usually I pick the one what is important at that time. So every year there are like different popular like things, not popular, it's wrong word. Let's say there are crimes which are more common every year, and then we pick the most common crime what is done against the students, and we build the story up on that. So it has to be a true story, but you also must have like a backstory. So if the team is writing answers to you, so that you know, if they are so good that you don't have any more ways how to like bully them, then yeah, you must have like a second story to go through to, like, because we want them to learn something. So if they are already good, then we have to pick another level on social skills. So we also have like backstories. So if this kind of bullying doesn't work, then I will, in the chat, I will change the topic. And usually the chat lasts for like 15-20 minutes, not more. So they have to discuss, 4 of them, because there are people of 4 in the team, and what to write and how to write. And so those were the topics. The participants are from different schools. We pick up out like random teams. We don't want like the best students from every school, but we would like to have like mixed groups, because this is where the discussion begins, and this will be useful for both parties. So usually we have like 3 or 4 members, and they can then like chat and discuss what kind of solutions they can have. So I have never used the system that I will be against one student, because the idea is that in this learning space you have a friend and you can ask his or her opinion and advice. So they are in a team, and they don't have to feel alone, so they can discuss and find better solutions. And usually they do. Sometimes they find creative solutions, but in the discussion they usually find the best way out. So I think it's not that good to use it as one-to-one method. What about the participants is important, and what I learned last year was that we have some schools where the social media or the devices are not like a common thing. So that we have schools where parents don't want their children to use social media. The parents don't want their children to use internet. So with those kind of participants, it's really tricky, because for them, if they have never used social media, it's really hard to understand that behind the computer can be someone else, or there can be a person who can say mean things. So my saddest story is I made that one boy to cry because he couldn't understand that someone can write so many insulting things in the chat. So you really have to think through if you can add those kind of children into this workshop if they have never used social media. Most of the students have, but we do have some schools and some children who don't. And we use as the ones who chat are always experts. We have seen those bullying chats, and we know how children usually get bullied, and how, what kind of language they use, and what kind of topics they talk about. So I have read probably hundreds of different bullying cases, and I have been taking care of bullying cases in schools and also in social media, because when somebody complains to me that they are bullied, I sometimes solve the cases just by going and chatting with the person. So for us, it's easier to know the limits when we shouldn't go over the limits, and what are the topics, what we can talk to those children, and how to put their social skills in a test. So we will try to be as mean as possible, but not too mean. Yeah, and you really need to have shifts, because usually we have 10 teams per person, so it's a lot of work and a lot of discussions. I think every year I mess up something, because in one story I'm a girl, and in another story I'm a boy, and then there might be some mess ups. So the more people you have chatting, the more interesting it is, so you don't get tired. So yeah. The outcome of the chat is we actually evaluate two things. We evaluate the stuff what they do behind the computer. So we will have a psychologist in the room where they are typing. So the psychologist will say, how was the teamwork? How did they support each other? What kind of solutions they offered? And on the other room where I am the one who will go through the chat, and I will see if they use the right keywords, not the right. There is, in bullying cases, there are never the right sentences, but there are solutions which work and which don't work. So usually what I look for in the chats, I look for the key sentences, I wrote down here. So when the team writes to me that we have done a screenshot, or I will tell about this to my mom, or I will report this to our teacher. So these are the ones what we actually want. We expect them to take action, to not just to block and close the chat, but to actually take action and solve the problem, because blocking and canceling the chat is never it's not a solution. Yeah, and they should not insult me back, even though they don't know I'm a police officer. But you can't solve a bullying case so that you insult the bully back. You can't threat like the person who is chatting to you. I had a story with there was a team of boys who actually called me out. So they said that, you know, in the chat that come in front of the schoolhouse and we will find out who is the toughest boy in this class. So if those kind of solutions like pop out, then there is again something, but the school can take action. They can discuss these topics in school and avoid the situation that the boys really only talk with fists. Yes. So the workshop, so where they have to chat with the bully, is one of the most popular ones. And I must say that it's a good result, because every year we also have like the therapy dogs in one workshop. So if we are more popular than therapy dogs, then it's something what the children like. We also get really creative solutions from children how to solve bullying cases. So it's for us as specialists, it's also like a learning day. We also have seen the development of their social skills. So 5 years ago, when we started, I got a lot. 5 years ago, I got a lot hate back. So that the children were trying to solve the case so that they were. I hope you can hear, because I think my internet is just throwing me out.
Yes, we do hear you. Go on.
Thanks. Oh, so Melika. So because the first year when we started, I had many cases where children were writing back like hate speech, and they were insulting me, and they found really like not good solutions how to fight back to a bully. So they didn't told me that, you know, we will report this thing. They tried to practically like attack the person they were chatting. But now, last year, with one group, I had so much trouble, because I tried almost most of my bullying lines or bullying sentences, or I tried to manipulate them as much as possible, but it didn't work. So they were saying like golden sentences, and it was just like it was funny, because I was in trouble. I couldn't bully them, whatever I did. So I think that the schools are doing their social skills lessons. The schools are participating in like the bullying-free schools programs and stuff. So it has been really helpful. So I think next year, I think we need more help in bullying cases. So I need to find more mean ways how to like put them under pressure. Yes, so every year we also, after this session, we get feedback from children. So they actually open up, and they tell us about stuff, what has happened in the internet, and what they have never told to anyone. So from the police perspective and from the school's social workers perspective, it's a good thing. So we can actually solve the real cases because of this game. And we also give the feedback to teachers, so the teachers and the students can have their own discussions in school, and I hope this also helps to combat cyberbullying. Bad outcomes. I told you there was a boy who cried. Actually, I think he cried most of the social skills Olympics time, because he couldn't understand that someone in the internet can be mean, even though we explained that you know, it's a fake story and nobody insults you in real life, because it's a game. But when we have children who have never used social media, then it's kind of difficult to yeah, like it's a kind of difficult topic to deal. Yeah, technical issues can kill the vibe. So I think every year we have at least one computer which will crash down, or one computer which doesn't let internet in. And yeah, so you have to prepare for that also. And chatting experts. So I think one time I was trying to bully at the same time in different computers, 2 teams, and I kind of messed up the chats. The children did not notice, but I knew that I went off from the main topic, and I was mixing up 2 different stories. So it's good to have more people in this workshop. So yeah, I also brought or I posted in this presentation a link, so you can actually try to play those kind of like bullying games with the cards also. But as I have seen, the card games where you can also like say what you have to, like, yeah, you can pick that you are the victim, and you can anyway, you can say the words as you speak them. But I think it's more important to see how children write down stuff and how they answer, because when they go home and they will meet the bully in their own social media account, then they will have to write an answer. They will have to write something down, and it's important to practice the thing what you might have to do in the future. So when I talk to children, they have like they can like describe with the words what they want to say to the bully. But if they actually really have to write down the words, then they are not that successful. So that's why it's important to write through those things, write through those sentences, see how they look, and it can be more useful. Yes. Anyway, so that was the that was the description of this workshop. So I use it as a method to improve children's social skills. So in my opinion, and from the team's point of view, who is organizing this event, it has been useful, and it has had a lot of like really good feedback, and we have more teams wanting to participate than we can actually host. So I really think that also other organizations or schools can use it as a method, so that that when a child is like countered with this bully, she or he already knows what to say, what to write, what to do, and how to behave. So if we have gone through all those stages, then they are more safe than compared to the children who have never talked to any bullies, or even like play the game with where they have to fight with the bully. So yes, that's why I say that it's more interesting for children also to use chat. So they are used to have to type stuff, and they prefer typing to speaking. So anyway, it would be nice. Let's see. So this is my last slide. Yes, now with the questions, if you want to speak, let's see, I will open the So if you want to ask something, then now it's the time.
I would like to ask something. You said that the children often come up with really cool solutions when there are these simulations going on. Could you give like an example that you yourself was really like positively surprised about, just to give an example?
I think one, which I said, it's maybe not the best solution, but almost every year there is one team who is trying to like not pay money, but pay candies for the bully, so that they will say that, you know, if you behave if you behave in a good way and you stop this kind of thing, then we will give you like a box of candies. What kind of candies do you like? Okay, we will have 2 boxes of those kind of candies. And if you like, you know, if you act like a bully, and there are children who are actually saying that, you know, if you behave nicely, and then, you know, the candies will make like this bullying go away, then I think it's kind of like a funny way for children to try to talk this bully out from bullying. But yeah, they are usually really, I like that they use really like sophisticated sentences. Like they tell you, they can already, like, they can tell that they feel hurt, and these words are hurtful, because compared to the first years, the sentences have gone more and more like deeper, and they actually, like, for me it's important when children can say that what you are doing is wrong and it's hurtful, and it's, for me it's like unnecessary and stuff like that. So I think there has been a big improvement.
Thanks.
I have a question, if I may.
Yes.
Thank you. Very interesting presentation and very interesting initiative. As a school teacher, of course, I observe in my practice that in majority of cases, the bullying is not just kind of based in among children, in children's social networks. Of course, it comes and it's reinforced by the how the world, how their parents and the adults around them as well are reacting. So my question, are you planning or thinking of expanding such initiative to include various ages and interaction between adults and children? Because the bullying between adults is, of course, what will keep and reproduce anything that we find in children. It's my basic kind of thought.
Yes, it's a really good question. And actually, we have thought about it, because when I was working as a web constable, then less than 30% of questions come from children. So children, like 70% of all the questions about cyberbullying are from adults. So they have better, like, they know the words which really hurt, they know the topics which really hurt, and yeah, so we are on the same page. So, but the idea was to try this on the parents meeting. So we are discussing this. We also thought that maybe, we will try it at first with the adults. So we will see if we can use it on other topics also, but we have done it several times with teachers. So I have been bullying teachers on their topics. So let's say if a student is writing to a teacher that, you know, you have such a nice ass and so beautiful tits, then a teacher should have a proper response how to end this kind of discussion, or how to end it so that it doesn't end like we had a real case in Estonia where after this discussion, a child actually said that he loves his teacher, and he ran away and said that he's gonna kill himself because the teacher doesn't love him back. So it's easy. It's even for the teachers, it's important to have discussions how to solve those kind of cases where a child contacts you late in the evening, or if they send you like a meme. Let's say memes about teachers are quite common. So like a picture where I think the last time someone wanted to go to court because I think it was the picture of teacher, and the sentence above it was the best job in the world is blowjob, something like that. So teachers also need to discuss those topics so they don't feel alone and they have better solutions.